Good morning. Welcome to English class. I'm Latika ma'am. Today we will be doing a poem of grade 9. We are doing the poem The Wind from the grade 9 chapter, the textbook. So I will share the screen. Yes. Uh, what comes to your mind when you think wind? Okay. So wind can be something which is very gentle as well as it can be very violent, okay, depending on the force of the wind. So wind is also a part of nature and it is not something that we can uh, play with or take for granted. So wind, when it is gentle, it's just a very pleasant feeling, isn't it? We call it breeze. But the same wind can become very violent, it can be very destructive. Okay, so now in this poem, we are going to see the other side of the wind where it is in a destructive mode. So this is your poem. The wind. I will read the poem and explain it as I go forward. The Wind by Subramanya Bharati. A little about the poet. Subramanya Bharati is a great Tamil poet, famous for his patriotism in the pre-independence era. A.K. Ramanujan is a Kannada and English poet, well known for his translation of classical and modern poetry. So A.K. Ramanujan is the one who's translated to English. So now we will start reading the poem. Wind. The wind blows strongly and causes a lot of destruction. How can we make friends with it? Wind comes softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. So you can see in the first stanza how what are the different things that wind does when it comes in a violent form, in a very destructive and strong form. It can be in the form of tornadoes, uh, then you have sandstorms, okay, whirlwind. All these are the destructive side of the wind when it comes in that form. Okay? And the breeze is in a very gentle form. The same wind, when it is coming in a gentle form, it is called wind. So I will read the whole poem first and then we will explain line by line. So in the first few lines, he's saying, don't do these destructive things. You're breaking the shutters of the windows, scattering the papers, throwing books from the shelf, and everything is in a mess when the wind comes. It is so strong. Okay, in that few lines, you can also make out how powerful the wind is. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You're very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Frail, crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. He won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to firm the body, make the heart steadfast. Do this, and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. So, in the first few stanzas, he's telling you how destructive the wind can be and the different damages it causes when it comes in that powerful form. So the poem is in the form of a request to the wind. It is talking directly to the wind. He is requesting the wind, don't come and break the shutters, don't do all these destructive things to their homes. You tore the pages. It is as if it is accusing the wind. The person who's the poet is accusing the wind of doing so many damages. It is breaking down windows, shattering glasses, then throwing the books around. You brought rain again. So with the wind, you get rain also, isn't it? Even that is causing a lot of damage and putting the people at a lot of danger and making their life very hard. You're very clever at poking fun at weaklings, and it is the poor people who suffer the most, who don't have strong houses, who don't have proper uh, shelters. Okay, frail, crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood. So he is repeating this word crumbling to show you that the construction itself is not very sound. So when the wind blows, it is all crumbling down and coming down to pieces. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. So winnows is that what vessel we have to fan. Okay, so when you fan the wind, it becomes even more stronger. So the poet is saying that the wind god winnows. It is as if the wind is um, blowing more harder to crush these houses and everything and bring destruction, total destruction. He won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. So the poet has admitted, or he has understood that even if we request or make a plea to the wind, it is not going to listen to us. It will do its duty. It will. You cannot take it for granted. You cannot change the force of the wind. So what can we do? So he's saying, let us make stronger homes, which will not be brought down to pieces just by the force of the wind. So we know that wind is very powerful. So accordingly, let us build houses which are strong enough to face or withstand the power of the wind. Let's join the doors firmly, practice to firm the body. Okay, so now he's saying, let us make strong doors with good hinges. Okay, so he's also on another level, he's talking about the corruption that goes into all this construction. You've seen all this public works construction. It is not made in good quality. One year they make a proper road, the next year by the next rain and wind, everything is damaged. So it is also a play on the corruption among the politicians, among the construction people. Okay, so everything is uh, based on corruption. So he is requesting the people to make stronger homes and houses so that it can withstand the wind. Practice to firm the body, make the heart steadfast. So even we should be bold enough to face these situations. We should not be discouraged or feel defeated once the wind destroys our homes or brings destruction to our society. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. So the poet is saying, if you do all this, if you take all the precautions necessary, you don't have to fear the wind. It will be friends with us. We will enjoy the wind when it comes. If he's comparing it again, this is also a metaphor where the wind blows out weak fires. You've seen when you light a matchstick. It's a very light fish. If it is in the middle of a wind, when you light a matchstick, it will be put off immediately, isn't it? Whereas you've seen these forest fires, which are in full, uh, it is flaring and burning up the whole forest. So it is a very powerful fire. So that fire, when it comes in contact with the wind, it only becomes more. So that is what he said. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. So if you are strong, you will not be affected by this. It will only become better with the wind. But if it is weak, if you are weak inside also, you will be affected. Otherwise, if you are strong enough to withstand the wind, nothing can change you. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. So, if you are strong enough to face the wind, it doesn't have to be any danger or any harmful aspect. You can take it like the wind as a friend, and praise him and enjoy the wind whenever it comes. Let's see if I can share this. Okay, so this is the PPT for there is an explanation of all the stanzas, and you can go refer to it. It is in your SSD. So whichever I've explained to you, you can just read it once more to understand it better. He won't do what you tell him, so come, let's build strong homes, let's join the doors firmly. So what he's saying is, he's telling the readers that the wind does not listen to anybody and that his actions are his own decision. So we cannot escape the ill effects of the wind by appealing to the wind like he has been doing. Instead, what we can do is build our homes on a strong foundation and ensure that our doors cannot be easily penetrated in order to save ourselves from the wind. So what we can do is protect ourselves with stronger homes, stronger doors and windows. Now this is a very important line. In these lines, the poet outlines some other ways in which his readers can save themselves. He says that we must make ourselves strong both physically and mentally. We must train our bodies and hearts to combat against and resist the ill effects of the wind. So we should be strong enough to overcome any harm effects done by the wind. If we are able to do this, then the poet thinks that we will no longer consider the wind an enemy. Instead, the wind will invite us to become his friend, and we will be able to fearlessly accept his invitation. So we will be able to enjoy the wind if we take all these necessary precautions. Yes, this was already explained. If the fire is burning strongly, then the wind will not blow it out, but make it fiercer. It's in the forest wind. Okay. So the wind can nurture that which is already strong. If you are strong enough, you can become more stronger with the help of the wind. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. Wind comes softly. Okay. So in these lines, the poet comes to a conclusion after weighing both the bad effects and the good effects of the wind. So he is coming to a conclusion after saying all these things. He says that if we are strong, then the wind is a good friend for us to have, for he will increase our strength. He also says that we should sing our devotion to the wind god on a daily basis. So we should praise to the Lord. Finally, he asks for the wind to come to him softly. This may seem a bit cautious of him, but shows that he has thought out of his address to the wind very well. He knows how the wind can strengthen him, but also knows that he must not overestimate his own strength or disrespect the wind god. To prevent himself from doing either, he asks the wind to come to him in a gentler manner. Okay. So this is the summary of the poem, and the theme, again the central of the idea of the poem is the poem's theme or what it's about. That is the meaning of theme. So the central theme of the poem is about the wind that takes the shape of a tornado. Here it is described of possessing human qualities and feelings such as happiness and being mischievous too. So it is as if it's a person who's coming and destroying everything. It goes around everywhere, making common commotion and destroying and chasing things. Okay. So now the figures of speech which are used in this poem are alliteration. You sound that FF sound as a strong fires, flourish. So in this line you can see alliteration being used. Then we have metaphor. So the whole poem itself is a metaphor as it ends on a note of humanity to stand against all ravages, natural or man-made. Then there is personification. The wind has been personified and has been addressed as a destructive force of weak things. So as if it is a person coming to destroy all these things. The word crumbling has been repeated to show the effect of the destruction. Crumbling doors, crumbling windows, crumbling lives. So these were the figures of speech used in the poem. So the summary again of the poem: violence and destruction. The poem, there is, although the poet requests the wind to blow gently, but even the poet knows that the wind will not listen to him, because it will continue to blow violently and cause destruction when it comes in a violent form. So what is the result of the storm? It breaks shutters, windows, even throws down papers and from shelves. The poet has regarded wind as God. He says that he makes fun of the weak persons and things. The fast-blowing wind destructs weak houses, weak doors, and weak bodies. So the total, what he's concluded is, people with strong physique and mind are able to stand and face odds or obstacles of life. So if we are mentally and physically strong, nothing can harm us. So that was a summary of that poem. So you can read through that poem, and there are some question answers at the end of the poem. You can try to answer those. If you have any problem while answering, you can discuss it in the next class. Okay, thank you.